So I am going to start a Starseed special. I know I have a lot of specials and series, but we're gonna stay in tune with it because it allows me to have like my creative flow going, so I'm not really just trying to stick on one specific topic and come up with a bunch of content in a short amount of time. And it allows me, that's funny. That one was for me, guys. And it allows me to really kind of align myself too in and really kind of do my own studying because I'm not an expert and I hope y'all didn't expect me to be an expert because I got some news for y'all and you ain't gonna be that happy about it if you thought I was because I'm not. But anyway, so we're gonna start with a little reading. If you are new to this channel, we do readings at the beginning of the video to kind of confirm the energy, just kind of talk about things. But I'm probably gonna be pulling a lot of cards today anyway, regardless. I do want to find my Starseed deck. I thought it was in by my desk, but apparently it's probably in my bag of witchy things. So I'll be right back. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Okay, so I'm starting off with my Astro Star Code deck. So this is all about star seeds. This will bring you into alignment of your divine duty because I know that we all feel called for something, and that's like why we had such an impactful spiritual awakening as a collective. And so it's really important to stay in tune and aligned with that. And that's what we're going to talk about, obviously, alignment, starseed alignment, but it's really important to understand and focus on your own life while also staying true to the the spiritual job that you feel called to do because it's not your job to take on the world. Like nobody would ever expect you to just take on everything. And I hope those aren't your expectations for yourself because that's just too much weight to put on one shoulder. And we just need to understand that we're here to experience our own like life on top of everything else. Like feeling spiritually called to do something doesn't mean that it's your responsibility to save the world. And I hope everyone, and I believe most, if not all people, would really understand that because it is a little chaotic in this world, let's be real. But regardless, we still can stay true to ourselves and focus on the things that make us happy while still being called to do something higher than our physical selves. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. So, to get started, I'm just going to be shuffling decks. You have no idea what's going on, and I'm just going to be talking while I shuffle these cards. No, but really though, it's important to stay true to yourself when trying to take on this spiritual starseed job because we're here to experience happiness. We're here to experience joy. We're not here to just be miserable and feel responsible for, the wrongdoings of other people, places, things, events. And to really understand that is to pay attention to your shadow and love your shadow and be spontaneous. And work on really getting into your shadow needs and desires so you can find what really makes you happy. This almost, I won't even say it, but it starts with a P. I'm just kidding. Don't read that deep into this card. But it's the blue flame, so a spontaneous awakening. So many of us had this spontaneous awakening, and it was really exhausting. It was really exhausting to go through so much in such a small period of time. And we're here to validate that. That is truth. That is honest truth. Like things have not been that easy. But we're here to make them easier, and the best way to do that is to stay true to yourself and understand and focus and be aligned with your goals and create goals. Create goals spontaneously. They don't have to be some exterior giant motivation. Like you don't have to, I mean, you can totally reach up to the stars, babe. I ain't gonna hold you down. But my point is you don't need to have all these expectations on yourself in order to feel like you're aligned with self. The best form of alignment is really taking care of your wants and needs. Your needs more than wants. But at the same time, your wants are very important and it should really stay in balance with your needs. Let's be real because we have to have fun, and fun goes spicy and it goes in lots of different directions, and we'll talk about some of the spicier things too. I'm probably going to have a like different medium to talk about some of the spicier things because I know that a lot of people do want to hear some of the spicier content, but we're just here to be play it safe on YouTube, so we're not going to talk about all that just yet. But yeah, I like this one too. You're not for everyone. This was a really big message for me. Like, really, like, wanting to meet people, be sociable, and just be the unconditional, loving self that you are. It makes you face a lot of people who are your reflections or who are reflective of past life trauma, and so they're here to activate a lot of things, but that's also a big way to understand that, we're not here for everyone. We're not everyone's cup of tea. And, some of us like chai, some of us like decaffeinated. Wow. Decaffeinated. I need to, yeah, we'll talk about that in some other video. But no, I was just kidding. Seriously, we do need to, stay in tune with our truest selves. And, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. I literally made a post about this morning about embracing your weirdness. I just actually realized that. That's great. So yeah, like stay true to yourself because staying true to yourself, like I mean, you created yourself this way for a reason. I mean, yeah, we should, stay true to other people's boundaries and things like that. Like we shouldn't go overboard with it. I think that's pretty obvious though. Just sometimes it's hard to align ourselves with other people who are just not in tune and balanced with us. So, like, if you're talking about all this starseed stuff to somebody who's like super religious or something, or they just don't, or even just an atheist, like somebody who does not believe in anything besides the things that are directly in front of them, it's jargon to them. Like, they have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe they'll be judgmental, or they'll just think you're crazy. And that's totally cool, because maybe we are a little deep down. But, but you're here for so much more. Your ancestries, you staying grounded with yourself, ooh, and staying grounded with who you are is really going to make the most amount of sense for you. And it's also going to allow you to open new doors by staying true to yourself. Like, we're not here to people please. That's not our job. It's not our duty to make everyone happy around us. Because if it was, I mean, maybe the world would be a little bit better. I'm just kidding. No, it wouldn't. That was the joke. Like, nothing is going to get better by trying to make everyone happy. There are people out there that are going to find things to be unhappy about. This is an unfortunate truth. It really is. But, it's not our job to make other people happy. Like, they need to find their own form of happiness. And if their form of happiness is making other people miserable, sometimes it is. You just got to be aware of that and, stay away from people who are just not meant for you. I know that one's difficult, especially when we love the people that we want to interact with, and we know that they're just not capable of seeing the same things that we're able to see, and so that can make situations a little bit more difficult to understand for both sides. But yeah, again, just, think about where you've come from, think about all the things that you've done and, the commitments that you've made to yourself, and really stay true to that because those commitments and that discipline is going to bring you to a higher level. It's going to keep you reaching up to your main lifespan, your main timeline. So, like, allow yourself to focus on your goals and be aligned with yourself. Self love and self care is the ultimate form of love because you're going to reflect that back towards the world, and other people are going to learn that through you. Not by you, because we're not teaching how to be like a certain way. Like, that just doesn't make sense. But we're here to reflect, and when people see other people being happy and they see this, it triggers this thing in their brain where they're like, well, what are they doing? What are they doing to be so freaking happy? And then they try to start adjusting their own lives in alignment with what makes them happy. So it's an equal give and take. It's not something we see right away either. So don't like have any of these expectations. It's just a way to understand it better. Because having those expectations is going to, it's going to psych you out. So just don't be about it. Allow things to come and go as they are. Like when we're here and we're staying in true to ourselves, then we can really start getting in focus with what we want and desire, because not always is that super easy to see or understand when we don't really know exactly what makes us happy. I know that sounds maybe complicated or sad or, I don't know, anxious. I don't know. There's a lot of emotions attached to that, but that's my point. Like staying in tune, I almost think this is the chakra system, but staying in tune with your studies and your focal point of energy and just trying to understand the world around you better is going to keep reaching you higher and higher. Elevated mindset will make things come towards you. So don't have these expectations for life and the world around you. Yeah, you should set intentions, of course, but intention and expectations, they are so different. I know that they don't seem that different at first glance, but they really are, because when we have all of these expectations for the world, it puts a lot of weight on our own shoulders and our mental space, because we're either going to think about it constantly or we're just going to drain ourselves, because we're like, well, things aren't happening yet. Things are not going the way I planned. Things aren't doing the things that I need them to do. And it's okay, and I get that. I get that emotion, I get that feeling, but that's also trying to fight the current. And I know maybe it doesn't seem that way, but it is, because when you're expecting the world to work a certain way and it doesn't go that way, you're just going to get flustered and confused about like why your manifestations aren't happening a certain way. And there's this tricky thing about the universe and its surprising adventures. Like it will surprise you with your manifestations, and it's your job to let it surprise you, because if we knew how everything was going to play out, we wouldn't be that happy. We wouldn't be that grateful for the things that we have. I know that maybe you don't believe that. That's okay, because maybe you would be super grateful, but the world still needs to surprise you. So let it happen naturally, let it flow, and don't have the anxious anxiety. The anxious anxiety. That's silly. But no, seriously, like don't let it control your thoughts and ideas of the world around you, because it can thwarp you. It can make you unmotivated when you have all these high expectations for how things play out. So don't let that defrain you from your main set of goals, because like when things don't go our way, we get frustrated. It doesn't matter how elevated your mindset is, it can get frustrating when things don't work out the way we want them to. And even if we don't have high expectations, expecting or wanting a specific result can be debilitating. Like regardless of who you are, but that doesn't always necessarily happen that way at the same time. But just allowing the free flow of energy and just setting your intentions simply, like through a journal, burning it, witchcraft, alchemy, whatever you practice, whatever ritual you do that keeps you in tune with yourself and aligned with yourself and your higher purpose, will be the correct path. And sometimes when we're doing things all on our own, it's like, well, am I really doing this for some higher purpose? Is this really have any impact on the world around me? Babe, it does. You have no idea. The subtleness of life is the most beautiful aspect of life, because, like, the free flow of water, bro. Okay, so just put this into perspective. Like, when water drops, it starts to collect in a specific spot. And it is not something that's going to flood. It's not going to be something that's going to fill with water, but the more that environment stays the way it is, the more water collects, and then it starts flowing in the same direction all of the other water is flowing. I know maybe that's not like the greatest example, but when you let things flow, they flow, and there won't be any constructive criticism that we have to give ourselves, or like we won't have to be so critical. Maybe constructive criticism is probably pretty good for us, but critical criticism, like having this idea that we aren't doing enough or having, enough potential for ourselves can really set our mindset that we aren't enough. And that's so not true. Like, you're lying to yourself. You are more than enough. You were put on this planet for your little intricate piece of part. Like, whether you're a musician, an artist, you just like to write poetry, maybe you just like to meme all day. Like, you were making somebody happy. You know how many memes I laugh at throughout the day? You know how much that motivates me while I'm at work? Don't tell my employers that. I was just kidding. Seriously though, like we really have to understand that just the little tiniest piece and portion of the world is important. Like, it's energetic. Energy matters. Matter is energy. Just saying. So, let things happen, but also set goals for yourself and be realistic, but also esoteric and like manifest. Manifest this stuff to happen because it's going to find a way to happen. Like, when you know that you want to become like this, like, top gear gamer or whatever, like, set your mind right. Set it towards that goal. Maybe have something a little bit more aspirational. I'm just kidding. No, like, gaming is fun. I'm a gamer too, so it's okay. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, when we align ourselves with some physical reality goals, like when we start like aligning ourselves with creativity and we start making money doing the things that we love versus some job that's probably draining us, which your job is very important. Don't get me wrong, we all have our place in life, but a lot of things are changing, and it's really great to understand and realize that, like, being a part of the change is going to really bring these things in towards you because you're going with a natural flow of life and you're a little droplet of water in this river flow. So let it happen. Let it exist the way that it exists. Don't fight it, don't force it, and just let it exist. Because when you do that, you're going to have so much less pressure on yourself, and it's just going to be so much happier for you. I promise you, because you're not going to be fighting the world. You're not going to be fighting yourself. You're just going to be, in your own little bubble, interacting with other people still, and your focus won't be on the little details so much. It'll be on the bigger details, which sounds like, how is that better? I'll tell you, because when you have this general idea of the way things could be and you start focusing on how to materialize that, things become so much easier, and you realize that you were putting all this esoteric pressure on yourself that wasn't even necessary. Like, those things could have worked themselves out if you just let them be. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. It happens to me all the time. I'm a Virgo. I like to overthink. And I complicate things with my overthinking process, but I still find a way to get things done. So it works out. I mean, maybe not the overthinking thing, but eventually it figures itself out. So let's just do one more card. I'm going to probably keep this one a little bit short because I really just wanted to introduce this. Yes. I think this one's personal. But okay, so deep love and understanding. Mother's milk. Birth is a portal. Allow yourself to be born again. Allow yourself to come up with new ideas. Allowing yourself to be somebody new isn't going to change who you are, but it's going to refocus you into your 5D self. So you're energetically much more understanding of consciousness and reality, and you don't have so much force or fight composure with the rest of the world, or I shouldn't say composure, that's not the right word. Like, you don't feel so compelled to fight with the world. That's the word I was looking for, sorry. So, like, allow things to happen the way that they're meant to happen because there is a timeline for you. But again, if you want a little bit more information, I would definitely recommend my soul contract video. I think it was just a couple videos back, or it was like the last video that I made. Like, allow that to intertwine you with like what you really want, because allowing yourself to realize that you're not bound to anything specific. When you realize that you're not bound to anything specific, like so much like ease comes through, and then you realize that you can create abundance in other forms. Like abundance doesn't have to be a fat paycheck all the time, but yeah, that is nice. I ain't gonna sway you from it because I like fat paychecks too. Ooh. I know my belly does. But so just allow things to happen the way that the natural course wants to take them, but at the same time, manifest and, be true to yourself and what you want to manifest, because knowing and understanding what you want is going to allow the universe to send it to you faster, because you know what you want to do. You're focused on that energy, and so you are aligned with it spiritually and physically, and the universe finds a way to bring it towards you. So again, just find that balance, that equal give and take, and it will happen for you much, much more flowy. This seems like a silly way to put it, but it's true. Like when you allow flow to happen, I'm just gonna keep saying it, just let it happen. And things will work out. They don't always seem like it, but just realize your own potential. Sing your potential, bringing the unconscious to light. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am working really hard on republishing my website. It will be back soon. Hopefully by this weekend, if not next month for sure. But I have some things that I want to create and add for the community building, because this is a community based channel, and we do a lot of community based things. We're actually going to be doing some physical events too. So yeah, I'm going to be co-hosting some physical like meetups, group meetups. So if you are in Texas, if you're in the San Antonio area, definitely hit us up on Facebook, because we're starting some new things this year, and we're going to make things happen. That was what I was in tune to do. I met some really cool people, and we're gonna do some online stuff too. So if you're not local and you're across the world, don't fret, because we're gonna do some online things too. We're gonna have classes, and we're going to have just online community events, so we can socialize, talk about consciousness, talk about our physical realities and our spiritual realities, and bring all of these things together so they make more sense, because community and and just communicating is going to make things make more sense. So I'm sure you understand that. I love you guys. Stay tuned for all of the good things, and awaken to your true self, because you are your true self already. You just need to see that. Okay, bye.